Hi guys, it's Mr. Skinny, and I'm doing my second commentary here, and it's a little different, and got to apologize because I'd actually rather actually watch a game and be able to see both players, their hands, and what they're doing. But I was just recording this game. I thought it was quite interesting. It actually shows all of my mistakes. So I figured I'd give it a go. So actually, and the other weird thing is I'm not playing right now. I recorded this earlier, and now I'm just playing it back and re-recording. And I'm doing that because I can't play and commentate at the same time. I can barely play without talking. I can barely commentate when I'm doing nothing else. So, doing both at once, really impossible. And, so I'm not going to be able to actually, point at the cards. I tried to point at the cards while I was in the game, so, you can read what's going on if you're not that, familiar with, with the visuals of the cards. But, so I tried to kind of do things visually to see what's going on, but I can't control what's happening on the screen. So we see us kicking off here. I am playing Weyland, the new identity that lets you advance. It gives you a recurring credit to advance ice, and I'm going against Gabriel, the criminal runner, the only criminal runner that exists right now, and he gets 2 credits every time he does a successful run on HQ. So I started the hand. I didn't mulligan. And I kicked off with played a hedge fund, and I drew. My mandatory draw was into a commercialization, one of the newer cards that lets you basically take money off of. You get to take money for every advancement token on a card, so it's kind of a good way to get the money back that you've paid to advance ice. Even better with something like the new Weyland ID, where you actually get. You get to put that advancement out for free, at least 1 credit every turn. Anyway, so I iced up my R&D and I left my HQ vulnerable, but and Gabriel went ahead and after playing a compromised employee, he ran my HQ. I had 1 agenda in there. Actually, I had 2 agendas in this. That was very dangerous for me, but I got lucky and he only saw my hunter ice. So, looks like right here he went ahead and ran R&D. I had enough money after my hedge fund to res the toll booth. Toll booth is that great MBN 5 strength code gate, I believe. That code gate that forces the runner to pay 3 credits. Nothing they can do to avoid that unless they don't have the 3 credits. And then it's just got a single end the run subroutine. So it's always a great one, especially if you get it out early. It's hard to beat on the runner side. So I kept my R&D safe for a while, and then so it's back to me. I've mandatory drawn into a Hadrian's Wall, very strong ice, 7 strength I believe, 10 cost. So hard to res unless you've got some aid or at least really have your money going. So it looks like I went ahead and I played. I can't remember exactly what ice that was from my hand. And I really should be looking the top right as much as I can, but it's very hard to follow along these games. You've got to read the text scroll on the bottom left, and Anyway, so I took a couple of credits. I stored an ice in front of my HQ, and I'm still sitting on 2 agendas, and I've got the Archer ice, so I'm hoping for an Oversight AI. I know that that's another one of those new cards that lets you res ice for basically 1 cost, so it's pretty cool. So Gabriel goes ahead and runs my HQ again, and so it was the hunter I put out, and he will just take the trace. If I'm successful, I get 1 tag. I've got less credits than him, so not likely. Base of 3, he has no link though. I believe the compromised employee... Yes, compromised employee lets him get a credit for tracing, so even though he doesn't have link, he sort of has a link, and he has a 1-time base strength of 1 from that one. So he eludes, and he gets his HQ, and there he goes, he scores 1 of my agendas, so he took the Project Atlas, 2 points to him. But, I don't think I'm feeling too bad right now. Corpse scoring agendas early is pretty common, so I'm not too panicked. There's an Oversight AI, so I'm probably quite excited about either Hadrian's or Archer. Should probably go after Archer. But, as I said, I recall making a lot of mistakes in this game, so I don't believe I did. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm obviously, as you can see, I'm considering Hadrian's and Archer there. So I put the Hadrians out, and so Do I pay the credit? I go ahead and decide to keep the hunter. I figure that'll force him to keep spending money as well. I dump burn a click, but get a free credit to advance it. And what am I doing? I guess I'm considering whether or not to res with the oversight right away, or leave it as a sort of surprise. That's the one thing, is that no, I decided to go ahead and res it. So, I obviously feel pretty safe right now. It's now essentially an 8 strength barrier with 2 end the run subroutines on it. And currently Gabriel has no icebreakers at all. You've got to expect that he's going to be either have an icebreaker or be running into his icebreaker searches. So there's something about putting the oversight AI out on it. It's a tough one. I mean, I think oversight is actually obviously better on Archer, because Archer you have to forfeit agenda to res it. You'd rather just use, and it's got a lot of subroutines, so the oversight's more protected. And you can see that Gabriel had his special order, which lets him just search his stack for anything he wants. By using the oversight on Hadrian's, sure, I obviously saved the credits in resing it, which I wasn't anywhere close to getting. But I reveal to him what it is, so he can then go looking and just get the barrier breaker he needs. So he just installs a pawn shop, and also the Armitage co-busting job. So he's feeling good about money. He's got 8 credits, and he's got 6 credits left on that job now. So it looks like I go ahead. I mandatory draw into a chum, and then I just take a couple of credits and advance the Hadrians again. Obviously, I'm trying to gear up to just keep advancing Hadrians for free, and then use commercialization to get some money back off of it. And obviously it strengthens Hadrians constantly. So Gabriel brings out his barrier breaker. I forget what that one's called. I think it's the Corroder. And so it's kind of a little race there, because unless I keep strengthening the ice, he has a lot of money. He has 10 credits, so he can break Hadrians relatively soon. This is not cool, since when he breaks Hadrians, it also gets trashed, and that's the downside of the oversight AI. So I go ahead and actually advance it twice, so I pay an extra 1, and then looks like I drew into another agenda, so I actually have 2 agendas in my hand again. And then I played commercialization. So I was feeling nervous that the Hadrians might be very limited lifespan. So at least go ahead and get some money off of it while it still exists. So I played the commercialization. I got 4 credits back. At least now I've got 5 credits. And I turned it back over to Gabriel. So he's kicking off with 13 credits. Yeah, because he just pawned the end of his code busting. So I'm not actually sure if that still had 6 credits on it. He might have done it because he wanted to hold on to his clicks. Forfeited a few credits off of it. But yeah, so he's got 4 clicks. Looks like he wants to push while he's got the money advantage, I think, and kill that Hadrians. So he's slow, so he's got to be good old calculation required in this game. Got to be a math whiz. Yeah, still thinking. So, I'm obviously not feeling great, especially if he gets into HQ. He's got a 50% chance of scoring. So he pops out a crash space. So those are constant credits for removing tags, and he can prevent meat damage with it if he trashes it. So yeah, he's going ahead and he ran the HQ, buffs up his is that the Corroder? Yeah, it's a Corroder. He buffs it up to 9 plus strength. I think it has a 2 as a start. So he's beat the thing. Pays 2 to beat subroutines, and bye Hadrian's Wall. So it was very expensive. He's actually down to 0 credits, but it's a good cost one time. Now he's going into the Hunter. He's got no money to beat it, but the trace will occur. So it looks like I'm not boosting it. He's got no credits. I stopped. I think I'm checking to see if I can definitely win it. I see that he's got the 1 credit during a trace. So I know that he'll only be able to send 1, so I'm fine. and he'll get the tag. Of course, he has those free credits up there to remove the tag. So perfectly played. The free credits off of that crash space. And he paid the 2 credits up front. So, but now he's got a recurring 2 credits to beat the trace. So he gets in, and fortunately for me, his coin flip does not get him an agenda. He sees my archer instead, and is probably wondering, like I am now, why I didn't use the oversight area on the archer. But nonetheless, of course, he could have just obviously done a special order for the archer icebreaker if he needed. But either way, so back to me. I'm feeling like I dodged a bullet. He didn't get an agenda. And now I'm looking at my other ice and considering what to do. I guess I figure I know I have to reprotect HQ. He's just got a very sort of simple entry into it right now. So I throw the Enigma, and I actually trash the Hunter, figuring it's practically useless. He can just take the trace each time. Although I guess you'd have to lose a click to remove the tag each time, so it might not be that useless. But still, I want to save myself a credit. So I put out 2 instead. I put out the Enigma, knowing he has no code gate right now, breaker, and then I put the Chum on top of it, making it stronger. I'm sure I would love to put the Chum on the Archer, but I guess I didn't feel confident I'd be able to ever res that Archer, since I've already lost an oversight. So that's what I do, and then I just grab a credit. It's my last click, and Gabriel will wake up. Ham is his name, by the way. I did not introduce Ham. My opponent, who has been keeping me on the back foot constantly. So he is considering his next option. And I sit on 2 agendas, so I am now in the over 50%, 66% chance. If run successfully, I will be giving up points. And he runs the HQ. So, he's only got 2 credits. I guess he's figuring he doesn't care what he hits. He just wants to see what's going in there. And worst case, he'll lose some cards, I guess, or take a tag and he'll be able to pay to remove it. So, he runs into HQ, sees the Charm, and jacks out smartly because he has no idea what's coming after the Charm and doesn't want to risk something very dangerous. Charm, of course, it adds extra strength, and if the following ice is not broken, then it causes 3 net damage. So he just puts out another Armitage job, and I think closed his turn off. I drew into the research station, lets me hold 2 more cards in my HQ. It's an upgrade, so I throw that into my HQ. It won't be active until I res it, so I have to pay 2 credits to essentially allow myself to hold on to more cards. So Gabriel plays a forged activation order on me, so I must res or I trash. Fortunately, I have the credits to do it, so I do go ahead and res. Of course, now I have a fully ice-exposed HQ, so he has all the information he needs on how to break it. And you can see he just uses his next 2 clicks to draw cards. Obviously, he's drawing into he wants to find either a code gate breaker or another special order. But instead, and then he pops out another compromised employee, and I remember being really... feels very brutal when that happens because, more compromised employees out. Every time I'm rezzing ice, he gains a credit. So the one thing I can do to protect myself, and he keeps getting money off of it. And now he's getting 2 credits every time I res an ice. And then when you look at it, like when you might pay, if you pay 2 credits to res an ice that he has to pay 2 to break, you feel okay about it. You'd rather it was a better return. But then if you're resing for 2 and he's getting 2 back free and then can just break, for those free credits, it feels horrible. So anyway, so he takes a bunch of money off of Armitage and installs the, he discarded his E3 feedback, which I forget exactly what that does, but he discarded it. I just open my turn. I've drawn another agenda, the Posted Bounty, which is just a 1-pointer, and I think you can... Is that a Posted Bounty? Yeah, and it's got 2 difficulties, so you can essentially score it from your hand, but you take a bad publicity, which will give the runner a credit every single run, or at least 1 run a turn, I think. So... what is he doing? He found another special order. He picks up his Gordian Blade, the code gate breaker, the best code gate breaker in the game, I think it's considered. So, I'm feeling very much like, oh god, HQ is not safe at all. I have 3 agendas in my hand. and he doesn't run yet. Just puts the Gordian Blade out. So, yeah, you know, I've got 3 ice. Fortunately, I do have a Sentry ice, the Caduceus. You know, I looked up the pronunciation of this. I had trouble with it, and Caduceus, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Some mythology weapon or something. So, yeah, so I go ahead and install it. I keep my code gates. I guess I figure that, you know, he's got to spend money to break them, so, you know, they're out already. I've paid to res them. Let's just, you know, leave them there and take that 2 credit hit to install more ice on top. Fortunately, I got that Sentry, so... but I think that's just a bunch of traces, which aren't great against him right now, because the compromised employee gives him essentially 2 free credits to break traces. But what can I do? That's all I've got with me. Yeah, I picked up another Enigma. I'm not going to put another code gate breaker out. So, and now we see he's gone ahead and installed Ninja. So here's your fully powered ice-breaking rig. The worst place you want the run to get to. And he's there, and I haven't even scored an agenda yet. So, not feeling strong at all in this game. And so he goes ahead and runs HQ. I res Caduceus. I figure that it's... you know, it's worth it, but yeah, you see I just highlighted. So, you know, I paid 3 to res, he got 2 back. And then on Caduceus, if I actually looked at the card, I believe there's 2 traces. There we go. Oh my god, myself in the past knows what I wanted. So, yeah, you know, so 1 trace gives me some credits, the next trace ends the run. We'll see, does he... so I don't reinforce the first one, I'm not sure... You know, he's got those... He's probably cares a lot more, obviously, about the end of the run one, so it might be a way for me to at least get a few bucks for free, but if he's not that worried, he might also restrict me. So, yeah, he eluded it. He spent the compromised employee credits on it. And... yeah, so, you know, he spent 1 to stop me getting 3. Okay, it's a good idea. I mean, not a bad return. And then the next trace, so I'm trying to figure out, can I stop him going in? I have 6 credits, he has 5. And I know he's used up his credits now, so I do go ahead and spend an extra 3 and boost it. I don't know if I did the math really well. Obviously, I've got the total of 5, so he'd have to spend all of his credits to get through. And then knowing that he's still got to spend money on the other ones, so looks like, yeah, he doesn't elude the trace and it ends. So, I'm not sure if that's what he wanted to happen, but... you know, so I stopped the run 1 time at least, and yeah, delayed him. But then, of course, he has a job that he puts out, so he's about to be rolling in money again. I draw into an Edge of World, so, you know, an interesting little trap card. It's a trap that does damage when there's ice in front of it, so it's a good way to, you know, what you want to do is you want to put out a remote server with ice first, so you're sort of setting up a protected server, and then you throw down the Edge of World, and you know, looking like, okay, I'm going to try and score this agenda in 1 go next turn, so come at me. And then, you know, it forces the runner to, you know, he has to make it as, you know, he has to sort of attack it. He has to either expose it or go after it, because, you know, once you put an agenda out, you're usually addressing, hey, I've got a 3 difficulty agenda, I can advance next turn if you let me. The other, of course, way they can do it is drain you of cash, and then you can't advance. You know, so I can't put the Edge of World out unprotected. It's too obvious, plus it does no damage. So, so he goes ahead and he took a couple of credits. He took 4 credits off of Armitage, and now he's going with Inside Job. So he's, yeah, he got himself as many credits as he could, and then he's obviously going right after HQ again. I also rezzed my research station, so, you know, obviously I'm trying to buff my hand up with as many cards that aren't agendas to reduce his odds of actually getting an agenda when he runs me. So, thank God for the toll booth in front of R&D, because right now it's sort of been stopping him, like just taking off the free cards off R&D as well. So he runs in, he inside jobs past the Caduceus, then lets Chum go off, and then it looks like he's deciding whether to do Enigma. I mean, I've got to assume he's going to break the Enigma with Gordian. Not going to cost that much, really. He has 6 credits. But, I don't know. Either we were lagging, or he's trying to figure out his subroutines. Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-strength Kogate. I mean, Gordian's to use it. I don't know what use it means. I don't know if he's telling me to activate. I can't imagine wanting me to activate. Oh, no, there we go. So he does... Yeah, so... so plays 2 strength for Gordian, 2 times to break subroutines, and boom, he is in. So I indicate I have no further reactions, and in he goes, and he gets 2 credits back because he's Gabriel. He is not hurting for cash at all this game, and it's really I remember just finding it. I thought this was a great deck. He really had everything going well with Gabriel. Like, never really hurt for money, kept constant pressure on me, and so he got in. And he got my he got my posted bounty, which maybe I'm not sure why I didn't score it quicker. I think I forgot I even had it. I could have scored it from my hand, or maybe I was just too occupied with the other things that were going on. But at least he only scores a point. It's probably that's obviously the best agenda I could hope he would get if he had to get an agenda. So I've mandatory drawn into Scorched Earth, and I'm not feeling that confident that I'll ever get that off at all, because he's got 2 compromised employees that really keep him protected in the trace department, and then on top of that he has 2 free recurring credits to break a tag, so to get rid of a tag. So the chances I'm going to tag him this game are pretty low at this point. So I'm probably just thinking that's just a card to hold and decrease the odds he'll find an agenda. So I draw another card and I go to hedge funds, grab some money. So at least I've got a little money now, which does help me for traces. Means he's got to be careful about, he can't just take on any trace. I didn't quite see what he did there. He went fast. I think he went into my... so... he de-resed my toll booth. I guess he went into HQ, or he'd already done that? I'm not sure. But he de-resed my toll booth, which I believe he did with the card that lets you de-res as long as you made a success run on HQ. So I guess he went into HQ. That was maybe when he got the posted bounty, and then he de-resed. So... And then I think, what just happened actually is he ran R&D, and I didn't res because I didn't have the money, and he knew that, and so he got a look at the free card on top. So there you go. So then I finished up my turn. I put a Hadrian's out and have advanced it. I advanced it twice, used a free credit for the first one. I guess again, more. So I'm setting up this remote. I guess I'm trying to set up for this Edge of World, probably. I want to get a remote going. I want to distract him from HQ and just sort of give him more targets. Of course, by doing that, notice he has now popped out his bank job. So I've given him a free server to go into, so he's running my server. Even if it was cheap ice, why am I going to res it to, unfortunately I'm just giving him money. Ugh, horrible really, to just throw out some ice and then just get, you're giving him money. It's a thematically strange card really. Although I'm not sure, I guess bank job, maybe it's some kind of it's a security test, so it's can you break our server? There's nothing in it, can you break it? Shows you can break it, and then you get paid for your job, so. But either way, so as you can see, he ran the server, I let him in, he gets success, he gets 7 credits off of the bank job, netting 6. And he left the one on there because he has the pawn shop, so he can then even pawn off the remainder of the job for 3 more credits, really max out the bank job's funding there. So I mandatory draw into a beanstalk, so I just use that, gain myself another few credits, and then what is my next move? So I'm continuing this play on trying to keep the remote server, or start to buffer remote. And so I just add I add this new card on. I'm not too bothered about it. I really don't want these cards to be particularly, hard to break, but I want it to look legit. So I do that, and I advance another ice on the Hadrians. I'm also probably setting up for a commercialization, hoping I'm going to get that. So finally, Gabriel gets his sneak door beta out. You always got to fear that that's coming. So is that a sneak door beta? Users getting pays 1 to... Oh, no, it's sort of Crescentus. Okay. So anyway, so he installs Crescentus, and then he runs R&D. And then I let him in, or I don't res. I'm just taking the risk at this point. It's okay, see my top card. I got to pray. It's not trash board. It's not a agenda. Because I want to keep this money. And so, he goes in. He sees... Oh, so he just saw another archer. And now I'm wishing I had that posted bounty, of course. So I draw again find a Scorched Earth, and I draw again, and get a hedge fund. So I pay that and grab even more credits. Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to like kind of get, trying to get as rich as possible, max out my hand so that, his runs, right now it's not too bad. There's a 2 in 7 chance he'll score an agenda. So, I've done the best I can having 2 agendas in my hand. Yeah, so he goes ahead, he's running R&D again. This time I do res, and I guess again I did not see the Crescentus out, or I didn't think of it. So I res it, he gets 2 credits for the res. I get to force him to pay the 3 credits, to give me 3, or to just pay 3. So, he's only really paying 1, because he got the 2 free res, the 2 credits free for me resing. And then pays 1 to activate Golden Blaze, and he trashes Crescentus, uses his ability to de-res Tollbooth. So I'm actually not sure why he spent on Gordian then. I'm not sure. There you go, Crescentus de-res a piece of ice. Oh, I think he has to successfully run the server. Yeah, so he paid through to run the server, and then didn't get an agenda, fortunately, off of R&D. There's his Sneak Door beta. So he does install his Sneak Door beta, and now he's just, and I haven't even had a chance to really protect archives as well. You've got to assume they'll be in there. I don't even know if Gabriel runs without a Sneak Door beta, but there you go. So he runs HQ and he sees my Edge of World. So there goes my Edge of World plan. Even if I was just trying, please, can I do some damage to you? And he sees the Edge of World and gets to trash it. And then he runs Sneak Door again, so he's going back into my HQ. So now he's got a 2 in 6 chance, and yes, he gets an agenda. So he gets 2 points. He's now up to 5 points. I am not happy, but what can you do? I mean, he put the Sneak Door out, and I just never got around to protecting archives. So I'm so on the ropes here. I mean, he has every breaker possible. He's resourced out. What am I going to do? So I draw up a second card after my mandatory draw, get myself another agenda. Again, it is the agenda I probably want to score from my hand, and then maybe, I'll be able to use it later for an archer, although we're running short on points in the deck, so I go ahead and draw again. I guess I'm looking for a cheaper piece of ice to put in front of the archives. I've only got 6 credits, and all I've got in my hand are these Wall of Thorns and Tollbooth. Yeah, so much for Weyland being rich. If I can't draw those commercializations, and I've been using hedge funds and whatnot, but yeah, just money hasn't been working for me. I'm actually not sure if this deck has a bunch, any of the other types, the Adonis or pads or whatever, but yeah. So what do? I throw the posted Pounty in there. He's just trashed an Edge of World. He might be suspecting there's another Edge of World, so he goes into the archives through the Sneak Door, and he's gaining 3 credits. Actually, I'm not sure. Why does he get? I saw it. Desperado gives him 1. Why does he get credit for? I'm confused. He ran HQ. I thought he was running R&D. He must have backed off of that. So he ran HQ. He gets 3 credits for running HQ now. I guess he just paid his way through. Probably didn't even cost barely anything. And then he saw, I believe, he revealed Scorched Earth. So he's as not worried about the Scorched Earth as I am. And now he's running R&D. I don't res it. I still don't have the money. He knows how much money I've got, and he knows it's Tollbooth. And then he sees a card and does nothing. So I've got really lucky with the R&D there. Obviously the game could end any time he runs that R&D. And now he runs the remote, which would get him 1 point. He still wouldn't win, but what can I do? So now I'm considering resing, but look, the code gate can't do anything. I think he gets through it for 2 credits, and I'd have to pay 3 to res it, and he'd earn 2 more credits when I res. So I'm just not going to res it and say screw it, let him get another point. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a recoverable position from here at all. But so I don't res. I know I'm not going to res it. He goes through, and then I quickly don't res and say, yeah, go in. And what was really interesting, he jacks out. He jacked out of the run. highly suspected an Edge of World, I guess. He's seen one and thought, oh, so he's using some traps, and he just doesn't do it. So I get one free, oh, fine, I will score it then. So I use my 2 clicks and score the postponing. I get a point, hooray. Giving him a bad publicity, of course, but you know what, he's not hoping for credits anyway. And then so I'm considering my last action what to do. I picked up a cheap ice. It's a sentry, and the sentry breaker he has is an expensive one. He has to spend the full, it's 3 credits to +5 up every time. So, it's better than nothing to put in front of the archives. At least he's not getting a free run. He puts another compromised employee out. He's now getting 3 credits a res. I mean, I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do about that. 3 credits a res. More credits to beat traces. Yeah, so he goes ahead, uses his sneak door, runs the archives. So I res Hunter for 1. He gets 3 credits. And I assume... No, he just lets the trace go off. He's not even worried about trace. So I don't bother boosting it. He's got more credits than me. He has 3 free credits to beat the thing. I mean, yeah, so I spend the 3. He'll spend his compromised employee credits, I assume. He doesn't have Link, yeah. So not really a big need for Link in this deck. Yeah. Oh, and look at me. I'm commenting how much I love his deck. I don't know if it's that uncommon to Gabriel. I this is one game I've played where I just felt it was so effective against me. I was on the ropes the whole time. I could not get anything going. So he just spends. Looks like, I guess, the bad publicity he got to spend too. So yeah, and then he's in. He gets another 3 credits for finishing archives, and what did he see? I can't see what he saw. I missed that, but he didn't get an agenda. So now he's going into R&D. I've got the credits to res it. I can't remember. What do I? No, I just say screw it. Go in. I'm saving the credits. I'm not sure. I guess I'm saving them for, at least the remote server. I guess try to get an agenda popped off in the remote and just keep letting him get 1 free card off R&D. Very risky, but what you can do. So, and I got lucky once again. So I kick off the turn, and I've got an Itchy. It's not bad. It's another sentry, so it's costly to do. So I put it in front of the archives. Yeah, I mean, what you can do, you put it in front of R&D. Maybe I should have actually gone with R&D, just because I know that there's less chance he's going to get anything out of my HQ. I continue to buff up my remote server, hoping one day to put my private security force in that remote. But yeah, it's I've just left R&D open. He knows it's there. I mean, I guess I could toll booth it, but I mean, res toll booth. He gains 3 credits, then he pays it back. So it's the toll booth, the good toll booth effect doesn't even hit him. Yeah, you see me complaining. Every ice I put out, I give you 3. Ouch. Yeah. So there he goes into R&D again. Yeah, I don't res it because, again, there's just it's not going to have an effect on him, so I just have to hope. Yeah, and there he goes, and he finishes off the game. So, this wasn't a particularly exciting game, I realize, but I wanted to cast it just because I thought it was a really great, effective deck from Criminal, because, I quite like this Weyland deck. It's usually a little stronger, but it just shows how well it works. That Gabriel can work against a big ice company. I think. Oh, we just black out there. But I was gonna say my only other sort of comment would be I guess that Gabriel deck would be a little weaker against a Jinteki, right? Where it's cheap ice, and so all those credits he's gaining for rezzing, well, Jinteki aren't rezzing a huge amount. They're putting out a lot of, the whole shell game thing. So maybe it's not as strong there. He's got a little tag protection, but not much. So I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's an overall pretty balanced deck. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I want to cast. So won't blather on. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like me and subscribe and all that fun stuff to show your support, and I appreciate it.